an entire way of life for these children. A way that, to be honest, why would you do this? To the point of maybe they can get rid of the Penn State football thing for over a year. What I think is really letting them off easily. I feel for every year that this was happening, a 14-year cover-up, you should get rid of the football program. You should make these, not only the leaders know what's going on, but the so-called future of Penn State. So that may be a little too harsh, because these are great athletes, no doubt, and they might go to the NFL one day. They might go to international football leagues. They might go to a lot of things, maybe even the CFL for fuck's sake. I don't know. That's Canadian Football League for the people not in the loop. But with Mr. McQueary and all kinds of people that were involved, that is disgraceful. And of course, we know that Joe Paterno passed away earlier last year, or this year. Which is sad because earlier, the ESPYs the night before had a highlight of all the people that have passed away that were great in the sport, like Joe Frazier, like Joe Paterno, and like some of the old baseball players back in the day that I don't even remember, but some of them I do. Like any football players and just nicknames. And then you have this. That the board did absolutely nothing. That the board exactly did nothing. That with the presentation of Louis Freeh's report, and the full report can be on his website. Just type in Free report, Google it, and it'll probably be one of the first things that come up. But the report of the Special Investigations Task Force, the Board of Trustees, this report will not only be going to legal counsel, but not only in court, but will put a damper on the legacy of sports in general, not just college sports, because Penn State was one of those legacies that is now tarnished forever, including the legacy of Joe Paterno, a person that's like an icon, a legend in college sports in general, not just football, not just basketball, but a name that's more recognized than anything. And it's disgraceful to me and other people, possibly, because it's been going on forever. It's been talking about it all morning. And think about the 2 Mile Foundation. I almost forgot about that. The 2 Mile Foundation, which is it's a charity organization either by Paterno or Sandusky to help with some of these issues. And how does that feel? To have something like that happen to a lot of people. Not just in the organization, but people that run the charity, the people that work inside the charity. Think about the janitors in those hallowed halls of Penn State. Those janitors that are the scum of the earth in their mind. They have probably seen some of this happen. They have probably seen some of this take place. And the sad thing is, more times than not, they were scared because of an icon that Joe Paterno had, the power of the stroke that Joe Paterno had. To say something. All that weight is probably lifted off their shoulders right now, because if they didn't do it, someone else was going to step up and say something. And of course, there's several other things that I'm not going to talk about, because, Lord, we'll be here all day talking about all this stuff with the whole thing. But in general, it is disgraceful. It is horrible. And I'm just going to move on to the point why I'm wearing this right now. Because of DirecTV's and the Viacom stations. To the point where Viacom shut down, I think it was earlier this week. Yes, it was actually last Tuesday, July 10th. That Viacom stations such as Nickelodeon, Spike TV, Let me actually get a full list right here while I'm doing this. It's not a full list, but it's probably more than not of all of these things. And why not let the Hulkster say what's going on right now? And the full list of it.
I've had a world of pile-driving punishment dished out to me, brother, but I've never been hurt like I am right now since I heard that DirecTV is dropping Spike. So you can't see Impact and you can't see these. You will also be choked off from MTV, Comedy Central, Nickelodeon, VH1, and BET, 26 channels in all. So I need all my Hulkamaniacs to call DirecTV now and tell them you need your channels, brother. Otherwise, I might be running wild on you, dude.
And of course, there's another one about that, which is the same length. But, yeah. Obviously, TNA, in general, is going to get destroyed by this. Because not only is Spike TV going to be destroyed by Viacom, which is disgraceful to begin with the whole Viacom situation, blacked out their channels like Spike TV, like Nickelodeon, BET, TV Land, VH1, CMT. Some I haven't even heard of, like Logo. I don't know what the fuck that is. Comedy Central. And several others. And it's stupid on Viacom's part. And there's, of course, there's 26 in all. Like, I don't know why this is even going on with Viacom, because at some point Viacom, it works with DirecTV, but is equal to 30%, wanting 30% or more on certain channels like that. And as of some of the reports, it was 17 channels. I think if I click that, it'll show the list of the channels. But yeah, like MTV, VH1, Comedy Central, many more to begin with. And there's not even a full list out there. Because Viacom was directed TV's payments for the channels to increase more than 30% in the first year of a new contract. Which would normally run to maybe 5 to 10 years, so that's a lot of money depending on what the contract says. And Wall Street analyst has made that DirecTV pays about $225 a month for each DirecTV household that receives Viacom channels. So since DirecTV has thousands and millions of people for that, and depending, this really tears me half and half, because I don't give a shit, because one house has fucking DirecTV while the other one has Time Warner. But let me just see if I could find that really quick, because with Viacom maybe lost up to 20 million viewers, maybe more, because DirecTV pays 5% of their fees to Viacom and 20% of overall programming. Something tells me that Viacom will survive and DirecTV won't. But at the same time, what the fuck is Viacom, you ask? Because, to be honest, Viacom's trying to be the Neil Bogart of the Casablanca record frames of the 1970s. And that's fucking disco shit right there. The Harry Pop is part of Papa's television companies. The Bernard Murdoch of Airbronze, the WorldCom, just several. And just, how does this affect the FCC, the ACA, and several things? And it's surprising, yeah, 20 million viewers. Maybe even more. What did DirecTV lose of this? Maybe a lot more, because some people, I don't even know why you have DirecTV. Certain channels, maybe. But for satellites are unreliable in my mind, because you had Dish a while back, and that was an empty thing. Like Encore channels. Like extra channels. Like, and probably HBO and others as well. I'm not quite sure what the full list is. And it could be a 30% increase, which would be $50 or $60, which doesn't seem that much. But for every subscriber to not just Viacom channels, but DirecTV in general, for the products that they have and the channels they have, that's a lot. And, you know, some people have the argument, why pay for cable